What's good, Josh? Your boy Need for She coming back with another Top 5 Friday. And I hope you guys enjoyed my last two videos where I talked about Marvel and Spider-Man and Fox and everything like that with the superhero movies and stuff like that. So I'm going to stay on the superhero side, but now I'm going to go to the DCU, the the DC side of comics, the DC comics. Instead of Marvel, let's go over to DC. And the DCU only has 7 films, so I'm picking from the 7 films. So some may be good to some people, some might not be good to some people, but I'm just ranking my 5 favorite out of those 7 that came out. And we know more movies are coming out, so this is just a right now ranking. So I hope you guys enjoyed my past videos, and I hope you guys made up your own top 5s. And I hope you guys continue to watch these videos and come up with top 5s of your own and comment them below on my videos. You make sure to please like, comment, and share my videos on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share, please. Okay, so let's get it started. Let's move in to Top 5 Friday. Now, with the DC movies, like always, I'm gonna start at 5 and move up to 1. So, my 5th favorite DCU movie is Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey. I really like Birds of Prey because it was such a fun-loving movie. It was very funny, good fight sequences and everything like that. I love Harley Quinn. Incorporating Huntress and Black Canary in. Black Canary is a worker, and then she becomes, when she defends Harley Quinn and beats up the henchmen, she becomes a driver, and you really learn more about her backstory a little bit more, and you can hear and you learn why she doesn't sing or yells, because she's Black Canary. Then you learn about Huntress, why she doing the things she does. Her family was killed, massacred, and she saw all of that. So she spent her life training as an assassin and killing off everybody that was a surviving member of that mob. So she kills everybody. And then you have Montoya, the police officer, who's trying to connect all of these murders that's happening, and she runs into Harley Quinn. They have a good back and forth combination of stuff. Then you have the little kid that stole the diamond that the Black Mask, the main villain, is trying to recover. So now Harley Quinn is leveraging the kid to have safety out there, since now her and the Joker are broken up. So the overall theme of the movie, I really enjoyed it. The fight scenes was cool. I love really the dynamic of all 4 or 5 female characters, and it's a female-led cast, so I really enjoy that dynamic. So my number 5 movie is the Harley Quinn Birds of Prey movie. Now, let's move on to number 4. My 4th favorite DCU movie is Man of Steel. I really enjoyed Man of Steel. Henry Cavill as Superman, he has the build, the face, he just has the build of a Superman. I love his dialect, his dialogue within the movie. When he was separated from his family, he's taking all these odd jobs, working in bars, working in the hills, stuff like this. He's doing a whole bunch of different odd jobs, just surviving. And of course you have Lois Lane that's trying to discover different things in the mountains, and she's trying to take on the little alien rocks and pride and everything like that. So Henry Cavill, Clark Kent, or Kal-El, depending on how you want to call him, you got him figuring out who he really is. He finding out where I'm from. And even as a kid, when he used to get bullied, he knew he had powers, and he knew he could hurt every kid that's out there, but his dad always encouraged him not to fight them, because nobody is ready for who you are. Nobody can understand who you are right now. So you need to suppress yourself and don't make yourself a target. So that whole dynamic, but him and his dad getting into an argument once he's older, getting into an argument over why he cannot be himself and everything like that. Then a whole natural disaster happens, and his dad is trying to save people, help people out. Everybody's trying to get clear of the disaster, and he hurt his leg trying to save the family dog. I believe the family dog was stuck in the car, and he tried to, or the family dog was stuck in somebody else's car, and he's trying to release the dog so he can be free and run over to the people. But within the midst of that, he is engulfed by the natural disaster. But Clark has the ability to save his dad at any point, but his dad told him no, because he figured out that the world wasn't going to be ready for what he can really do. So he rather die and protect his son's innocence than be saved. So that whole dynamic, and then him figuring out that one of the villains that was trying to kill him when he was sent off to Earth is now released, and now him and his people are coming to Earth to try to kill Superman. So that whole dynamic, and the fight scenes were really cool. I did enjoy the fight scenes. General Zod, he was a dope villain. He was a nice villain. Their back and forth dynamic was really good, and the communication that they had together, I really enjoyed that movie, even though General Zod died pretty easily at the end. Out of all the alien stuff, he dies from a broken neck. I don't know how that happens, but hey, that's the movie for you. So my fourth favorite movie is Man of Steel. Now, let's move on to number 3. My third favorite movie is Aquaman. Now, to a lot of people, some people might not know this, but most of my friends, they really know this. Aquaman's my favorite character of DC. Because I feel like he gets slept on even as a main member of the Justice League. I feel he gets thrown under the bus, thrown to the back end a lot of times. So I really enjoyed Aquaman. I love the water. So that's a big reason why Aquaman is probably my favorite. But the movie's good. Arthur Curry, very great. He's half Atlantean, half human. So that whole dynamic of him growing up and Atlantis having to take his mom away, because technically she was already the queen of Atlantis and had an arranged marriage, but she was washed on the shore and was saved. So while being saved, she finds a man at the lighthouse. They fall in love, have a kid, but the Atlanteans come and say, either you come with us or it's going to be even worse. So she decides to come, and they decide to get rid of her because she broke the rules. So that whole dynamic, and him growing up resenting anything that really does with the ocean, is a really good dynamic. And I really enjoyed now, this movie is not highly ranked because the dialogue of the movie was kind of bland. The conversations back and forth, they were really ABC conversations. It was really simplistic, so that dialogue wasn't very good. But the villains, I love Orm. As his half brother being the villain, love that dynamic, and him trying to become the ocean master, love that dynamic. Also love Black Manta as well, coming in and trying to defend his dad's honor for dying and trying to save everything. Of course, Orm goes around and tries to convince Black Manta to do the things that he does, so the other people down in Atlantis have no choice but to join him. And then if he gets all of the people down there to join his team, he has now become Ocean Master and ruler of Atlantis, ruler of the seas. So that dynamic, and then Arthur having to come to the realization that I kind of have to do this. I need to do this. Then the girl Mara that he meets, and he was reluctant to go at first, but since Mara saved Arthur's dad because of a tsunami that Orm decided to pushed against the world to destroy the world, she saved him from that, and that made him say, okay, let's go do this. So they have the underwater disagreements, underwater fights, and everything like that, and him discovering that his mom is still alive when trying to find the Triton stick. Learning that his mom is still alive, I believe, is really a great dynamic. So I really enjoyed the movie and the ending. It turns out the way that you expected it to turn out. So Aquaman's a guilty pleasure movie because Aquaman is my favorite DC character. So my third favorite movie is Aquaman. Now let's move on to number 2. My second favorite movie is Shazam. Shazam was so funny. Shazam was a funny movie. Billy Madison has a funny movie. The 7 deadly sins take over people, and they the keeper of the Shazam, he brings kids or bring people in he feels that are worthy of the Shazam cause. But with also doing that, the 7 deadly sins have a way of manipulating people to come to their side. So if you have any evil or doubt in your side and you even lean somewhat towards the 7 deadly sins, the Shazam master will disperse you and send you back to where you was at. It just so happened when he did this with one particular kid, he devoted his whole life to finding where the 7 deadly sins people were at, so he can retake over and have all the power of the 7 deadly sins. So eventually he does find that, and he releases the 7 deadly sins. He puts the jewel in his head and everything like that, so he controls all of that. And the Shazam master finds his 14-year-old kid, Billy, and Billy is a foster kid who was lost at a carnival by his teenage mother. So he's been in foster care for the last 10 years. So he was lost at 4 years old. He's 14 now. He was lost for 10 years. So now he hates foster homes and everything like that. But now he's into a foster home that has 4 or 5 other kids. And within that, there is one kid that is a very big superhero fan. And it's a rocky start because Billy really doesn't want to open up or become part of the family. But then he notices that his foster brother is getting picked on. So Billy defends him. And once he does that, he runs away from the people that's trying to catch him, and he runs to the subway, and the Shazam master grabs him and deems him, you are pure heart. You would be the next Shazam warrior. So when he does that and he becomes Shazam, is very overwhelming for him because he's a little kid, so he really doesn't understand. And the fact that his brother, the foster brother that loves superheroes, sees that he changes, and he learns every time he says Shazam, he turns into the grown-up and the grown-up superhero. And every time he says Shazam again, he turns back. So to build popularity, his brother and then they record, make videos and everything like that, and that starts to go to Billy's head. So Billy starts distancing from his foster family. He really puts his brother on the back burner, and he's trying to make money off of being a superhero. So the kid, I forgot his name that quick, that went back for the 7 deadly sins, he figures this out, and he's trying to take the power away from Shazam and put it all into himself. So that dynamic, them fighting back and forth, and his family, his foster brothers and sisters figuring out that he is Shazam, was a big thing in the movie. The movie was funny. The fight scenes were cool. It was equivalent of Ant-Man for Marvel is what Shazam was for DC, but I think it might be a little bit better version of it. But that dynamic, and then when they at the carnival and the man releases the 7 deadly sins to haunt the carnival, and now his family comes and tries to save him, and he has the ability, since he has the staff, to transfer the power to his foster family, and he does that, and they become older superheroes, and now they are able to fight the whole 7 deadly sins. And of course he beats the 7 deadly sins, and now they find that the layer of the Shazam place, they consider that their lair now. So now that's where they have their lair meetings. So all in all, that movie was really good. I really enjoyed that movie. So my number 2 favorite DC movie was Shazam. Now let's move on to number 1. My number 1 favorite DCU movie is Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman front to back was a very, very good movie. Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, she played a very great role. It starts out with Bruce Wayne sending her a photo back in the World War with her and four other people, and that starts the reminiscent of how she grew up and how she went through the war. So learning, like I said, she's an Amazon and she's the daughter of Zeus. Zeus was Ares killed all the gods, and Zeus was the last one Zeus was the one that was able to damage Ares enough to where he disappeared. But within that, he starts dying, and he creates the god of killing, the sword and everything like that. But it also shows Wonder Woman, and then Wonder Woman, she always wanted to go fight. But her mom would never let her. But eventually, her aunt was teaching her how to fight, and then eventually she has to learn how to fight, and she grows up fighting now. And then she ends up fighting him and everything like that. And then the German soldiers, the man was fleeing German soldiers, and he crashes on the outside of the Amazon, and Wonder Woman saves him, and then that's how that dynamic happens. So the dynamic of her having to leave the Amazon after her aunt is killed in combat trying to save her life. The fact that she has to leave because she feels the person that's starting the war is Ares. So she feels she has to take the lasso, the killing sword, and go kill this person because she believes that's Ares, because Ares is the god of war. So she believes that is him. So the whole dynamic, she goes into the World War. She's trying to put piece to piece together. She runs into this person named Morgan that is trying to sign a treaty to where all the fighting has to stop. So Steve's commanding officer refuses to listen to him. So Morgan pays him under the table to go take these certain people on the journey with them as they go to create and try to save the World War. So the World War fight, they plan to gas London with a new tear gas, with a new gas that will instantly kill people. So that's the next development of the war that was going to happen. So Steve was trying to stop that, but Wonder Woman was trying to stop the main henchman, the main commander, because she believed he was Ares. So that whole dynamic, that fight to get together, and she eventually kills the man, but the war doesn't stop. So she's wondering, I thought he was Ares, why she wasn't stopped. Come to find out, Morgan was Ares. So now he let her do all of this because he knew that he was Ares, and then that's when they figure it out, and they have a battle of the life. But in order to save the other people, Steve gets on the plane, and he destroys the plane. He detonates the plane in the air so it doesn't reach anybody else. But with doing that, he kills himself, and that hurts Wonder Woman. And Ares wanted to use that as fuel to why you should go kill the scientists that created this stuff and everything like that. But as soon as he died, she just remembered all of the good times they had together. So that fuels her to defeat Ares. And then it switches back to present time with Bruce Wayne. So all in all, my number one favorite DC movie is Wonder Woman. Once again, it's your boy Neve Rashid coming back with another Top 5 Friday. What's your top 5 DC movies? Anyone different from mine? Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and drop your top 5s in the comment as well. Once again, this is your boy Neve Rashid, and I'll be back again next week with another top 5. You feel me?